Great. So once again, everyone, today we are having our last session of the supplier trainings in regards of the Nestle supplier portal. We have some sessions already performed during the past weeks. With this one, we'll be closing this phase. There will be more trainings in the future. Short introduction from my side. If we have not interacted in the past in the other sessions, my name is Eduardo Quintero. I am project manager in Nestle. I am leading the deployment of the Nestle supplier portal globally within Nestle. And today, together with Alexandra Zar, will be presenting to you three topics in regards of the portal that have to do with the vendor evaluation scorecard, the vendor audit management, and the quality non-conformities. These were new modules that were recently deployed inside of the Nestle supplier portal, and that at the end of the day, they're also interconnected. And it's good that you know what you can see in each of them and the actions that you need to take as well in each of those. In every one of them, we will be reviewing about the topic. What are we talking about per each of these modules? We will be seeing what are the information, for example, in vendor evaluation scorecard that you can see in the vendor audit management, how you can take action in regards of your plans to show evidence on how to correct all of those points that were raised during an audit of your vendor site. And in the non-conformities, we will be reviewing how you can share your action plans, root cause analysis, and upload of evidences in order to close that quality claim when it is raised by one of our factories. Really quick reminder of what our Nestle supplier portal objective is. As you may have been interacting with Nestle for quite some time and years, you know that we have many tools, many ways of communicating with you, but we want to streamline. We want to also put all of this together, integrated in one platform where you are able to reach some of these already tools that are existing, or also some of those will be new digitalized process that you will see inside of the portal, like the three ones that we will be sharing with you today, where the information will be shared in an easier way through the portal. So more and more processes, more tools will be centralized within our Nestle supplier portal, and it is very important to ensure that you have already access to this, and we will be touching a little bit of this topic by the end of the session as well. The supply portal have been already live for about 2.5 years, 3 years in some places where we started to share some technical documentation, but this has been growing in terms of functionalities in the recent years. So also you can see in the part of the users on this left side in the figures that more than 7,000, almost 8,000 users from the suppliers side are being in the portal interacting with our employees, more than 2,700 employees also sharing information with you. And this is represented with 6,000 suppliers that already have active profiles in our portal and are interacting with the information that we are sharing or requesting to you. There are many benefits in order to have a supplier portal, in order to exchange information in one single place. We will see in a little bit of more details the benefits per each of one of those three functionalities that we will be reviewing today. But in general, what we could highlight is that this portal is built in-house by Nestle, and this gives us certain advantages to both of us, to both parties, in regards of that we are working with similar information. So all of master data is connected within the portal. So we are basing in our ERP, in our SAP system. So the information will be very familiar to you, and we will be managing only one source of data. And the Nestle supplier portal will be the channel to transfer it to you. The other one is that this is available then 24/7 for all of you. That would also be highlighted in my next slide as one of the benefits for these three modules. And lastly, that it is versatile because we will be adding more and more different functionalities and modules to the supplier portal with the time. If we take a little bit more into details, then the benefits for each of these modules, All of them, as mentioned, we can start by that. The benefit is that they're on demand, right? You have 24/7 visibility of your supplier scorecard, of the actions that have been raised as a result of an audit, or the non-conformities from quality, the claims that you will be receiving notification and that you can check afterwards at any time. If we start then by the vendor audit management, so as a result of the audit of your vendor sites, what we want to do is to have this end-to-end where we have the auditors doing the audit, input all of those open points that may have found during this inspection, this audit of your site. They do it internally within our system, and then they are automatically notified to you through the portal, where you will be able then to start conversations and collaboration with Nestle in order to close those points. So you will be able to share your action plans and evidence through the portal, and this information will be visible for Nestle as well. And not only for the auditors, but also for the people that is using your vendor site. The vendor evaluation scorecard, this is great, not only on the way that you may need to take so many actions inside of the portal, but to display all of this information that you could have at hand for your suppliers reviews with Nestle, but also to challenge in case that you see that some of this information in regards of your OTIF, so the on time, the in full and in quality, by each of the POs are correctly then classified and correctly graded for this evaluation. So you will be able to see this information already for a year. So that it will be pretty good information to look back as well and have conversations with your MRP planners or with your procurement contacts, procurement specialists from the markets. The data is also updated daily, so this also brings very good benefits from you, as mentioned, that you have visibility of this information very early into the process before the evaluation scorecard is shared internally with a wider audience in Nestle. The non-conformities, so this we're talking about quality, and having this centralized in one place where you will be able to actually also provide information to close and clarify these quality non-conformities. All of these action plans, the root cause analysis, and the evidences that you will be uploading will be visible for the people in Nestle that is raising this non-conformity, but for anyone else that would like to know a little bit more on what was happening in regards of these non-conformities, authorized people will be able to see this. So it is very important that we highlight these benefits where you can, in one single place, that it is the Nestle supplier portal, visualize different information and close open points either from an audit or even from a quality claim, a quality non-conformity, that you know that it's in one place only. You don't have to use different tools. This is just split by modules inside of NSP. If you were previously using already the portal for some of the other modules, you know that we have different roles for you as a supplier. If you are already having the contributor role, you will be most likely already set up to use the BAM, BES, and non-conformities modules to take most of the actions, right? To propose all of these corrective action plans, to upload evidences, and also corrective actions. So if you have the contributor role, you have already set up and you have the right role to take all of these actions. If you are more from the commercial side, customer service, supply chain, and you would like still to keep this role, because it is okay, you may not need to upload all of those corrective actions and it's not under your responsibility. You will still have visibility from the audit. From the non-conformities is a little bit more limited in regards of this information, as it is sensitive information, of course, whenever there is a quality complaint, a quality non-conformity towards you. However, take into consideration that if you have currently an editor or a key account manager role, but you will perform also actions in regards of solving open points for the audit, or for the quality non-conformities, then ensure that you request that your roles are updated with the contributor role. You can request this to someone that already has contributor, to your key account manager, or to your procurement representative in Nestle. With this, then we will be moving to our demo, so you can see in details out of each of these three different modules. And I give the word to Alexandra.
Thank you, Lalo, for this great introduction and overview of Nestle Supplier Portal. Hello, everyone. My name is Alexandra Tsar. I am project manager working on the Nestle Supplier Portal, and it's nice to see all of you. And we are very happy that you decided to join this session in which I'm going to present to you 3 new modules available in the portal. All of them are connected in a way, and I will show you how actually during the demo and also how to read them independently if you are interested in one of them. Just an important note, for this purpose, I will use pre-production and all data that you will see, it's a dummy data. So let me share my screen and let us get started. Okay. So let us start our journey with VES, which is Vendor Relations Scorecard. And the main benefits of this model is that you will have a possibility to check your company's score at any convenient time for you. The score is updated every day and it will show you the exact same figures as internal Nestle users see. Therefore, it is completely transparent. You also will have a possibility to download this data in Excel files as well as diagrams as pictures in case you want to keep them as a reference in your analysis, presentation, or clarification with your MRP planner in case of any correction to be done in score. So this model, as you will be able to see in few minutes, is very intuitive, easy to use, and there is no need action to be performed inside the model. The main action is only to react if your measure and score is red as in or below the target. In this case, to be ready, please to improve this. So let me navigate you through the model in the supplier portal and let us start actually the demo. First of all, as you can see on the left, you will have a new tab called Vendor Relations Score. If you click on this, you will be taken to this page where you will see performance data related to your supplier. Important moment, in case you have multiple supplier assignments, then initially you will see data combined for all of your suppliers. But you will be able to filter for exact suppliers if you would like to see data separately just by clicking on these filters here on the right side. From the role perspective, this model is available for read access by all roles for key account manager, contributor, editor, and viewer. And let us actually discover what do we have inside of this page. First of all, on the top, you will be able to check your year-to-date service level, which is a percentage, and it is given each month to the supplier. Under this, you can see two charts, supplier service level, also missed PO by details. And let us start from the first one, from the supplier service level, which shows us the evolution of the percentage of correctly delivered PO items. Each bar appears in green, what means above or meeting target, or red color if it's below target. About this target, I also would like to highlight that by default it's set up as 97% of correctly delivered POs, which is a global default. But markets may have a different targets. And in order to validate your own target percent, please engage with your relevant procurement contacts to get to know as you might have a lower or a higher target than this one, which is set up by default. In case this is your case, you have a different target percentage, you can modify this just by drawing this data here. And as you can see, the data below will be, we will have this red line, which is also will be moving. Okay, so this is how you will be able actually to check it. So, as I already mentioned, the below charts will be green if you are above or meeting the target to consider this percentage as good, and green otherwise it's going to display as red. The red line is moving as I drag my mouse, and the color of the data will be changed accordingly. And also, if you hover your mouse, you will see some additional data. And let us move to the next one, to the missed PO by details. Here we will be able actually to check the number of PO items that failed and the reason for this. As example, for instance, the light brown bars are related to on-time delivery failure, and based on these charts, you will be able to track if your issue are related to either quantity, on-time delivery, or quantity reliability. In case you do not see any value for a month, like we have, for instance, for June, please do not get surprised with this. It's a positive thing. It just means that no POs, missed POs occurred on the month. Everything was delivered as expected. Also related to those two charts, you will be able to download them by clicking on this button here and to use for your further analysis, presentation, and distribute it with your colleagues who might be interested in this analysis, or to use it for further actions. Below those two charts, we have tables, missed PO details, and also high-level summary table. Let us start from this one, where we will be able to see the reason why POs failed and enables us to see data for each PO separately. Here you can see more details split by plan, supplier, material, purchasing order, PO item, manual override, first jar date, last jar date, last statistical delivery date, and schedule on quantity, delivered quantity, on time delivery, quantity reliability, and total quality, the same as on the chart. These columns are also colored either with red or green, depending on the set target on the top of the page. If they are below, you will see them in red. If they are above, they will be in green, as well as the outcome of the PO. If they delivered later than expected, or there were issue with the quantities. Some of columns also have tooltip. If you hover your mouse, you will see detailed explanation. And let us tap on this manual override, which is saying confirmed score by planned. So if you see below yes, you can consider it that MRP planner confirmed the line. But if you see no, it may not mean that the line is incorrect. It just means that MRP planner didn't confirm it yet. And if she or he disagrees, we would recommend to contact your MRP planner, provide an evidence why you think their disagreement is incorrect, and they will override their initial action to reflect a positive outcome. Also, if we scroll below, we will be able to export data into Excel file by clicking on this. And as it was mentioned at the beginning, on the right side, we will be able to see when it was updated. All this data is refreshed on daily basis. And now let us move to the next table and the last, what we can see here. So this is a management type report. It enables you to break down where your files are, on which level, on which dimensions, on plan, market, company, or zone level. This can help you prepare a discussion with relevant people and to have the relevant data on exact level where the failures occurred to help in resolving and providing the corrections. You can change the dimension for which the data is broken down into by clicking on this, like, let's say, column, not columns, but on these bubbles. So you can select market, company code, zone, parent vendor, or supply vendor. The purpose of this that the data will be the same, but I mean, you are changing only first line and all other columns will still remain the same. For instance, we can choose market, and all of this data will be grouped under market. In our case, all of them belong to one market. And as I mentioned, all other columns still will be the same. So also here, I would like to explain you a bit more about parent and supplying vendor. So for instance, if you are assigned to vendor A, which has 5 subsidiaries, and you are assigned to any of these subsidiaries or vendor A itself, you will have access to all 5 of them plus vendor A's data in WES. So this is very important to also highlight and keep in mind. Okay, that's actually it about the vendor relation scorecard. Also, just few words about filtering. As all other our models, we have these filtering options where you will be able to apply different criteria for search and for regrouping the data. So just by selecting it here by default, it's already pre-selected for plan and for years, but you can remove it and as if needed to create a custom view, and there is no need to indicate all of this data once again manually, just to use already created layout. And now we can move to our next module. So as continue us with aiming to be more transparent and easier the previously unmanaged offline processes, we can switch to our second model, which is vendor audit management. In this module, we will be also able sharing through the supplier portal the same exact data that internal Nestle users have access to, but related to audit results, where a discrepancy or issue was found. Every time when a new audit result is created, it will also appear on the supplier portal. An email notification will be sent to you, and on the portal you will be able to see its details and the reasoning, find attachments from audit, download the audit report itself, and follow up with Nestle to resolve it. We will see it in details in few minutes in a demo. As also it was mentioned, but it's important to highlight once again, it will be refreshed on daily basis. From the role perspective, this module will be available for key account manager, editor, and contributors, but the follow-up actions can be performed only by contributor. If you are not sure which role assignment you have, you can go to this profile, and here in application role, you will be able to check your role assignment. If you would like to perform these activities, but you do not have the contributor role here, we would recommend you to contact your key account manager and ask for modification of your profile. So let me show you actually, so this is the main page and you will be able to see the main details of each audit, and we can see the rating is displayed visually as a cycle indicators, and we can still filter search on them as for any other models by applying different criteria. And if you hover your mouse, you will see all of them here in a search, or you will have a need to click on filters to see which criteria you can use. Now let us go inside of any of this corrective action to see what do we have inside, the word inside. So first of all, on the top, you will be able to see the audit number as well, the action type and description. On the right, we will be able to see some metadata about the supplier rating and NSP status and when it was actually created. And I would like to draw your attention to this button. Within, you will be able to download the actual vendor audit report. And above, we can see we have, this is what we internally called a progress bar, where we will be able to check where we currently are in the life cycle of the corrective action. In our case, this is a new one, so we are basically on step first, means that NSP just receives this data from the SAP, and we can see that the first step would be to upload the action plan. the corrective action plan. So which is the main action that you would need to perform here? As per usual, we have also activity log below captures any change that happens to these corrective actions. And above this is actually two main topics, two main places where we have a need to react. So we have a need to provide here action plans and upload the supporting evidence for it. Important note that we do not have to do it immediately, submit our action plan. We can start writing it here to save it as a draft and then come back later to finish it before submitting it to Nestle. So let me enter any data here. And to show you that, as you can see, you will have already available this button, save as a draft. We can save it. We will see this message that you have successfully saved the current value as a draft, and feel free to modify the values and keep working on action plan and evidence before submitting. And also you will see this warning message here, just not to forget. Also, I would like to draw your attention that it means that you will still receive notification reminders occasionally from the portal. So we are not recommending you to stay along in this draft, let's say, version. And let me actually upload some test files here and submit it. Also here we are required to fill the actual completion dates indicating when was the correction done. I will just select any random data here. Okay, let me try once again. Since I'm using pre-production, sometimes it can happen, but do not worry. Let me refresh the page and try once again. So as you already understand, probably there is a need of two actions from your side. First of all, to indicate action plan, and second, to provide evidence. Okay. Now, if we already submit this, so it means that my colleagues from Nestle side will receive notification, and there will be a need from Nestle side to validate it. I am going to show you two possible versions. So first of all, I will ask my colleague to reject this, and after that we will approve it. Also, once you send it for validation, the NSP status will be changed as submitted. And it also already updated here in our progress bar.
You can already check. Yeah, it has been rejected.
Okay, thank you for confirmation. Let me refresh page. As you can see, there are two options how you can check. First of all, you will be for sure informed by notification that it was rejected, or you can simply refresh the page where you state. NSP status will be changed to rework, and then you will see also warning message just here in the progress bar. And also you will be able to check the red line saying to us what exactly was the reason for the why it was rejected. So rejected, not complete. And in this case, you have a need to check the Nestle justification, the reason for reject, and to change what is needed as per their comments. As again, you can save it as a draft if you need some time or to collect some data, or if you have everything near to your hand, you can react immediately and you will have a need to repeat the same process once again. So let me now submit, and I will ask my colleague actually to to approve this, just to show you the second possible option.
is being approved.
Okay. So again, you will receive notification via email and also in Nestle supplier portal that supplier evidence approved. And also action plan was approved. It will update it already immediately in our progress bar. NSP status will be closed, and also you will see these very green lines saying that action plan was approved and also evidence. So now we can see that is approved and the audit has been also resolved. If to summarize, the aim of this model is to provide a simple, easy to understand workflow to handle corrective actions, have a single place where you and Nestle can follow up on this in a centralized way. And also you will have a possibility to download the report and to have it. That is it about WAS. And now let us moving to the last of new module which we have, and this is a non-conformities, which is actually quite similar to the previous, to the vendor audit management model in some ways. The aim of this model is also to resolve issues reported by Nestle factory workers, which are more ad hoc in nature as they are not a result of audits. These nonconformities models will provide a similar set of benefits as SWAM. You will have complete transparency over the reports, download attachments, follow up with Nestle in a centralized way on the portal itself rather than with emails and so on. Just like before, the model is available for most roles, but contributors can follow up on the resolving. So how it works and which logic we put behind. Whenever the new open nonconformity arrives to NSP, the supplier portal gets all the data from the nonconformity, including the defect types, levels, impacts, all the attachment files, and so on. So when a new nonconformity appears, you will also be notified via email automatically with a link in for the supplier portal. The system will send automatic reminders, their frequency depending on the impact of the non-conformity. And you will have a need to react on this. A few words about this main page where we are. You will see all nonconformities and their status, and again you can search and filter them like the previous model by using different criteria that can be checked if you hover your mouse here or click on filters here. Okay. Let us actually open one of the nonconformities to see the details of the page inside. So as you probably already see, the layout is similar to the one that we have for WOW. We build it to make it more intuitive and make it more easier for you to navigate. So let us start from overview of what we will have, what do we see inside. First of all, on the top, we can see the nonconformities number as well as its description. Below, there is a progress indicator as usual, which tell us where is the life cycle of the nonconformity currently is. In our case, this is a new one, so we are basically on step 1. This means that NSP just received this data. And we can see the first step would be to upload a corrective action. Below this, there are planned dates and actual dates, and the difference between them is the following. The planned date is something that was specified in SAP, but it's optional, while the actual dates is something that you as a supplier will define once submitting the corrective action. I will show you in a few minutes actually how to do it. On the right side, we have some more details, but I would like to draw your attention to the bottom of this section with attachments. So these are the exact same files that your Nestle contacts have, and you will have possibility to download them from here. And now we can move below where exactly is a place for our action, and this is related to action plan, to root cause analysis, and also evidences. So we have a need to provide it here. Just like on WAM, you can save a draft version before submitting them to Nestle. So let me write down test data here. This button will be available for us. We can save it as a draft. See the same warning messages, let's say, and we can continue later. So let me now upload all the needed data just to go ahead with the process. But the logic for the process is the same as for WAM. So you have a need to specify all data, upload all files, and submit it. There is no restriction. You can upload even more files if needed. We are supporting all format of the files. And now let me actually submit. Here, the same, you will have a need to specify the data when it was resolved. Let me submit. Again, also the same thing. Two main scenario we will have a need. Uh, we can do here. It can be either rejected or approved from the Nestle site. Let me try once again. Refresh page. Since this is pre-production, a lot of people are using it, and also other developers are working on other models that it can impact. But do not get surprised or worry about this. In production, you won't have those issues. Let me do it once again. Lala,
I
can you
have
please just check? Yeah.
just I just
Mhm.
rejected it, so you can see.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you a lot. So as you can see, it was rejected. We have it here. We see status sent for rework. And again, we see notifications that non-conformity has been sent for rework. And also for sure, you will be able to see the justification, the reason for rejection, and will have a need to react on this based on those comments. So we can correct something here. We can upload, for instance, more file wherever it's needed. And we can submit it once again or save as a draft if we are not ready with this. We will have a need to verify once again actual dates. We can leave it as is or change if it was changed. And action plan has been submitted. And now I will ask my colleague to approve it. So while we are waiting for this, you will see that will be again changed here, submitted, and again updated in a progress bar.
Okay, it should be seen now as approved corrective action.
Okay, let me see this. Yep. So it was approved, as you can see here, notification or progress bar. And also we will be able to see this red line below explaining that the nonconformity was finally approved. And this is the end of the life cycle of the nonconformity, and we saw all possible actions related to it. So if to summarize, the aim of this model is to provide a simple, easier to understand workflow to handle nonconformities and to have a single platform where Nestle and you can follow up on this in a centralized way. That will be it from my side. I hope you found it useful. Also, I would like to draw your attention that we have already created a training material, a training simulation, which can be found in our training center, which is located here. So I kindly engage you to go and to check it. Feel free to distribute it with your colleagues who are interested in. And now I will give work back to my colleague to finalize the presentation.
Thank you, Alexandra, for the demo. Let me share back my screen. Just we move these minutes to the key takeaways and also state model where you'll be able to provide all of your questions. So as you could see in the demo, the tool is very interactive and it will guide you through the information that it is needed. So let's just summarize again what may be as a prerequisite in order for you to access these tools and what is the takeaway of each of these modules. So the most important prerequisite for sure is that you need to ensure you need to have access to the Nestle Supplier Portal or NSP. This access is provided by Nestle the very first time to the key account manager from your company, and later on the key account manager needs to extend this invitation, need to onboard other colleagues within your company. So if you do not have access, you can approach your key account manager that it is then in charge of the Nestle account and request for the access to the portal. In case key account manager or your key account manager and you do not have yourself access to it, contact procurement. So Nestle procurement should be able to help you and send you the invitation to join the portal. The other one is what Alexandra was just mentioning now, that is in regards of the training sessions. We already have some materials that will be explaining not only these three modules, but all of the other modules as well that we have inside of the Nestlé Supplier Portal. They're available for you at any time, and they are also going into details even more for the ones that we have already shared in here. So this recording, the recordings for the other webinars that we have had are just complementing the information that is already available for you through these training materials. In case of technical issues or process on how to use the tool, we have our inquiries module. You will find the link here, and when we share all of these materials as part of the minutes, I will go a little bit more into details or talk about more about the sustained support model in as inquiries as well included in the next slide, but very important for you to know that you will also have the possibility to use this ticketing system. So key takeaways for each of our three modules that we presented today. For the vendor audit management, so the audits that you will have for your vendor sites, you will get notifications each time the auditors have marked an open point from this audit, and then you will need to close your open points. You will need to have corrective actions in place and upload the respective evidence inside of the portal, so the auditors can also close these open points in our system. The vendor evaluation scorecard. It is important that you early all of your scores. The recommendation is that you do this during the first 15 days of the month, so you can do any challenge to the MRP planner in case you find something, if some of the information is not correct. So this is linked to the second point mentioned here. In case of a disagreement of the data, the MRP planner of the plant where you are seeing that information that is incorrect should be your main point of contact to correct this. If you have questions in regards of the targets that you have, the score, how the vendor evaluation scorecard is calculated, then this should be solved with your MRP planner and or your procurement specialist from that plant that you are either not agreeing with the information or not able to see the information either, because your MRP planner will be the one able to enable this visibility for you inside of the portal. The third one is the non-conformities, and the takeaway on that each time that there is a quality point, a quality claim, meaning a non-conformity from the materials that we are receiving in our factories, either we detect this at the moment of the good received or at the moment of the production, the non-conformities can be raised in the system and you will get a notification through the portal that there is a quality claim, there is a non-conformity linked to your materials, and that you need to take action to then do these steps that Alexandra was just mentioning about the corrective action, about the plan and the root cause analysis that you will need and to do, and the evidences on how you are closing this quality complaint. So these are the three main takeaways from each of our modules presented today. And again, the message here is that you start using it and that you start communicating with the right people and using just one tool in order to close those actions that you may have inside of NSP. So in case that you have any question, in case that you do not know what to do, how things work, we have a sustained support model that apply not only to these three, apply to all the portal and every module that we have inside it. So we have this training center, again, reinforcing the message that all of these materials, all of these videos are already there for you to visit, where you to see the step-by-step of the modules, and they are very, very useful for you. If the module of the training, or sorry, no, the training center is not enough, we also have the frequent asked question document where we have collected all of these questions around these 2 years that our suppliers have asked, and we put them in one document for you already to see and to verify, because the solution may already be there, the response may be standard. So we encourage you to first check on the training center, after check on the frequent asked question documentation. And if these two resources are not enough and your question is still unsolved, you can raise a ticket through the inquiries module that we have inside of the portal. This module is only visible for suppliers. This is your ticketing system to communicate to the IT support model from Nestle in regards of topics related to the Nestle supplier portal. And then you will be able to receive an answer through the inquiries ticketing system or through the generic mailbox as well. Very important to mention here that the inquiries that are managed by the team behind this module are inquiries that have to do with the technical or process questions related about the tool. So how the tool works, issues that you have about the tool. But if you have questions about the actual content of it, about how to read the data, about why is this important, the ways of working in regards of the function, more than the tool, this should be addressed more to your functional contacts. So either your MRP planner, your procurement specialist, your procurement manager, because then this will be solved in a quicker way rather than through our team that is solving inquiries that is a little bit more technical related 100% to tool topics rather than to functional topics. The same applies to our Nestle Supplier Portal Help, that we understand that if you do not have access to the portal, if you have issues with the portal, then you do not have access to the training center, you may not have access to the frequent asked questions, neither to the inquiries module. So the right way of communication issues about the access to the portal is through this email address, Nestle Supplier Portal Help at nestle.com. And all these queries about login issues will be solved through this channel. If you raise questions that are not about login issues through this generic mailbox, the team will just guide you to either the training center, to the frequent asked questions, or to the ticketing system in the inquiries for you to obtain the required support. This is in order just for us to make sure that you will get the correct information by the correct teams and the correct channel. So with this, we will be closing then our training for today and our session. I hope it was useful for all of you. We are really looking forward for your questions, your feedback, but mainly to start working together in this and all of the other modules inside of the Nestle Supply Portal. So thank you very much. We will be speaking as well very soon, well, maybe in some other training sessions, and we look forward to work with you. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you all for joining. Thank you for your time. We hope you found this training useful and we will be looking forward to see you on the portal. Bye bye.